All right, guys, Ethan Gladwell here with Medicare Millennials. Thank you for watching. Thank you for taking the time and going over this. Today, I want to discuss a very important topic that everybody's been talking about. And that topic is, Ethan, how do you think the clients are going to react to us having to record our entire conversations over the phone? So, before we get started, I wanted to let you guys know that YouTube is pretty neat in the sense that it shows us a lot of demographics on who's watching, who's not watching, the age, everything that has to do with our followers and the people that haven't followed. So the really cool thing about YouTube is they let us know how many of you are following and how many of you aren't. So I wanted to give everybody just a quick second. If you haven't, please like and subscribe. It helps us out tremendously. It keeps us going. It keeps us motivated. Keeps us pushing out content. Okay, how do I feel about CMS coming out with the regulations on us having to record anything over the phone? Well, obviously, any sort of oversight, any sort of micromanaging, if you will, I'm always opposed to. Don't necessarily like it. I've seen opinions from all across the board here, from people that have been in the industry for 100 years and the people that are just getting in. And fact of the matter is, guys, doesn't matter how I feel, because we're going to have to do it. Now, are we going to have to do it forever? Who knows? Are they going to push back and eventually get rid of this? Maybe. But for now, we just have to accept the fact that it's something that we have to do. With that being said, your client, well, I guess it would be your prospect before your client, maybe the first time they hear it, they might be a little taken aback because they've never heard that before, especially if they've never talked to like a call center. But guys, anytime you ever make a phone call these days, the first thing that they do is they say, we're going to record this call for quality control and insurance, yada, yada, right? Guys, I mean, everybody's heard that, right? And so I just don't think that it's going to be as big a deal as people think it will be. I think you can just kind of say, hey, look, we've got a little red tape. I've got to read a small disclosure here. That way we can get started. Most folks are okay with that. And then I think after a while, nearly everybody's going to have heard that, okay? And so it's just going to become the standard. It's going to become the norm. So I don't think it's that big a deal. Now, there are arguments that are saying, well, if you're not doing anything wrong, you shouldn't be concerned with this recording. I don't believe that. I think that's foolish. I just think that's another step that the brokers have to take to get a piece of business. So another way around this, I believe, is you can do face-to-face sales. A lot of people are big on over-the-phone sales or telesales, and I believe a lot of people have taken a lot of shortcuts since everybody's gone over the phone since COVID. I'm not saying anybody's doing anything wrong. I'm just saying there have been shortcuts taken. I've heard of them. Excuse me. And so just remember that we can always go back to face and avoid that recording. So I work 100% remote. Most, I'd say 95% of my clients are in Texas. I've lived in Michigan for just at a year now with no plans on going back. So everything that I'm going to have to do is recorded. But a lot of times mine are just referrals, a lot of T65 referrals. So again, they don't know any better. They don't know that there was never a time we didn't have to read a script. Or if it's my current client, I'm just going to let them know beforehand, hey, again, there's some red tape this year, just making sure we're protecting you is what we're doing. And ultimately that's how I'm going to twist it, is we're protecting you. We're making sure that the client is taken care of with this recording. So I hope this helps. I hope people aren't too freaked out about it. Don't let it spoil your AEP. Don't let it ruin your day or anything like that. I know there are people out there fighting against this, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. All that I can suggest is spin it into a positive. When I was doing over the phone sales with Final Expense, I would always spin something, some bad news into a positive somehow, some way. Spin it into a positive. Let them know that there is red tape. Let them know that it is there to protect them ultimately, and get it over with, guys. I have found that most of the time your worries are in your head. Okay, most of the time the client doesn't care. As long as you're genuine, you're helping them out, you're giving them something better than their current situation, who cares if you have to read a disclosure and record the call. That's just my opinion, guys. Hopefully it doesn't stay forever, but if it does, it does. Like I'd mentioned in the beginning of this video, please like and subscribe. If you have any recommendations on things you want us to discuss, please throw it our way. I will also mention that it's about to be AEP, and Kenny and I always talked about, and have always talked about in these videos, we are producers first. That means we're going to get busy. I've already got 15 referrals scheduled for October, so it's only going to get busier. We're about to send out our letters and our postcards to our current clients. A lot of new plans in the areas that we work, so we will be busy. With that being said, we might not have a lot of time to push out new content, and we might not have a lot of time to respond. We've had a lot of responses this week, especially on people trying to join our organization. I will say again, small rant, going to get off here in just a minute, that if you already have your contract somewhere, right? You're already with an upline or an IMO, and you're trying to change that. Most carriers have a blackout period where you aren't allowed to switch until January 1. Now, that doesn't mean we can't talk. That doesn't mean we can't figure out if we're the right fit for you. We can still do that. Of course, again, it's going to take the back seat during AEP. And then we can ultimately decide come January if we're going to switch or not. So I just want people to know, hey, look, we're not ignoring you. We're not putting out content or anything like that. We're just, again, ultimately we're producers first, and then we'll get to you just as quick as possible. So hope this helps. Like and subscribe. We'll see you guys next time. Take care.